Okay, good afternoon, everybody. We're going to be reacting to Crepusculum's Apple by Love Solfege. Now, Love Solfege is a Japanese doujin band that has existed for almost like 25 years now. The composer August Bouquet, he's been making music for over a decade, and I feel as though he's probably one of the greatest classical composers of our generation. And the reason for that is because he blends both classical music with modern music and does it in a way where each composition that he completes ends up becoming something that's probably just one of the greatest things I've ever heard in my entire life. And so I thought I'd share this with the world for people on the more Western side of things that haven't actually gotten a chance to listen to it or haven't actually, thought about listening to this type of music before. And so there are a lot of secret sort of fans of Love Solfege. This video would be a video that sort of brings those fans together, but also just makes people more aware of the sheer magnificence that is Love Solfege as a group and band together, from the composer to the singers and everyone who's involved in the team. So this is Crepusculum's Apple, otherwise known as Crepusculum no Ringo. It's from the album Crepusculum's Apple, and it's the main song on the album. And we're going to give it a listen here. Let's go. Lovely start. Powerful violins. I love the way the singer comes in. I'm really feeling this powerful piece here. I mean, the build-up is magnificent, and the emotion as well. So it's really brilliant. Okay, so first of all, I love that section. It was full of a bunch of highs and lows. The build-up was magnificent. It was almost like it was just teasing you for the final section that's yet to come. So far the violins have been magnificent, the angelic voices again, and you can tell that build-up is starting to deliver itself in this new section. Those background singers. Angelic, really is angelic. Wow. I mean, everything from the combination of instruments, the beating drums, the crashes, that cello, all topped off with that angelic voice just constantly. You can't get enough of that bass cello and those viols. Right back to it. I love it so far, guys. I'm not gonna lie, this song is really like powerful. The way it's sort of like carrying on constantly. I have a lot to say about it later, guys, honestly. I think we've reached it. So simple but done so perfectly, and straight back to that angelic singing. Okay guys, I'm loving it so far. That section that we just listened to previously was like the climactic sort of rise. Like, this is what we were building up to. Before it was a teaser, next it was something okay, next it was more interesting, and then finally we've gotten to that sort of climactic, sort of, you know, penultimate. Perfect. I really love the way there's so much variation in this. I mean, I love the way how it's a continuation, but each variation is so different and so unique. It's like you're listening to a whole new song every time a new section begins. And those little ghastly plucks in the background, again, the combination of classical and modern. This is honestly angelic. Wow. Here it comes. You literally just can't get enough. Those background vocals, they complement each other so nicely. Okay, so There are a lot of things that I wanted to go through in that reaction. Particularly, I want to talk about the variation of the song. I mean, it's one of those songs that a lot of the times, if you just sort of listen to in the background or on a whim, it sounds like you're hearing the same thing constantly, when actually each section of the song is completely different. There's always going to be something new or something exciting that you just sort of don't expect, but always happens. And it's one of those songs that never actually gets boring. The reason, and the way it does that makes it so that the song never gets boring. August Bouquet, the composer, known as August Bu or Shinichiro Matsumoto, he really has a way of making very simple solfege tactics, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and sort of building a whole string of complexities with that simple sort of formula. It's honestly magnificent. The way it's so simple, you've just got the cello in the background, the angelic voice all the way through, and then those angelic voices complementing that main angelic voice in the background, coupled with those striking viols and violins. I don't exactly know what instrument they are, but everything combined together just turns it into something that's so complex yet so beautifully simple. I really can't describe or put into words how amazing this song is, Crepusculum's Apple. It's one of those songs that I do believe I'll continue to be listening to for the rest of my entire life, because I've listened to this about 20 times now, and I thought, wow, I really need to create a whole channel just to talk about it, because it's so amazing, it's so brilliant, right? It's masterful almost. You know, the way everything works together and, sort of couples or what's the word? Everything complements each other brilliantly. It's amazing. And a lot of people don't notice in this one, Crepusculum's Ringo or Crepusculum's Apple, that it's actually not just a pure orchestral classical piece. It actually has elements of modernity in it. Throughout the song, there's these electrical sort of ghastly plucks, and they're synthesized, they're electrical, right? They're used in a beat making sort of studio that couples with it so nicely and just adds it, and it just perfects it, honestly. I think it makes it so much better than if it hadn't have had it. And that's one of the things that I really admire the composer for, because they really know how to make a perfect song, how to complete something perfectly. A lot of the times in a lot of classical pieces, I listen to them and I think, wow, this was good, but I've assumed that, maybe this sort of musical piece or this sort of musical ending or sort of musical, what's the word for it? I'm not exactly a music master, but this sort of sound would have worked better in this situation, etc. You guys have had that before, I'm sure. With this one, there is none of that. It honestly, to me, sounds perfect. I don't even think there's anything that could have made this even better. It's like, when some people, they're composing music, they do a little bit too much, or sometimes they do a little bit too little. This is perfect, right? It's one of those songs that I'm not going to talk about the emotional effect that it has, or that I feel like it's trying to convey. It really is one of those songs that you listen to and you sort of feel like you can just keep going. You feel like you can just keep pushing, keep fighting constantly, when you feel as though, oh, it's hit its climactic part, okay, that's it. No, it's like, okay, she's right back at it, right? But this time, in a new variation, a new sort of spin, you can tell that every time that every time the singer sort of hits that climactic part, slows down, her voice just carries on, and then the viol, like the string like instruments, start carrying themselves on again, but just slightly. Continues again. Honestly, it's masterful, guys. I really hoped that video sort of this video sort of completed its goal of what I had meant for in the beginning, because yeah, it's great, it's masterful. I don't know if I'm going to post this on YouTube or I'm just going to have this to ponder for myself, but yeah, whoever's watching, I hope you enjoyed.